he's shooting right now, so he was not able to be with us, but he's here in spirit. He's at the Fugue String Quartet. He's actually in a concert now playing. Yeah, Mike is yours.
So we'll take it away to some questions. We'll open it up with, I think I'm seeing one in the back. Am I wrong? No? Well, how about I'll open up and get the ball rolling here. Obviously this is a big, quite an important film for an ensemble consideration in many respects. How did you all go about assembling this team?
Wow, okay, so first it's writing a script, you know, a story, a script, and then I did a lot of preparation in terms of the quartet music, the knowledge of the quartet world by documenting the string quartet and later filming. So it was a lot of preparation, and then I submitted to this amazing cast with the support of also Cassandra Kulukundis, who is an exceptional casting director and a producer, and the rest of the team. And the rest, I think, is they should say why they wanted to join. It's for you.
So thank you for coming.
I guess I'll just say something else.
How long did it take you to learn the violin?
Pardon?
How long did it take you to learn the violin?
The viola. It took me, I haven't really finished learning, but it took me a little bit of time. I have to say, it took me about 2 months to learn how to hold the bow right. For real, that's the really hard one. And then after that, I felt such confidence from, this is true, from knowing how to do that, that it actually kind of advanced my learning curve a lot. So it was a blast to be able to have an opportunity to learn something like this, like the viola, to play Beethoven. You know, it's really incredible that you can do that, and somebody will give you the greatest teachers available who are the greatest musicians playing in New York City, and they're kind of willing to go the distance with you. As much as you want to learn, they'll give. And it's really remarkable. My job is so lucky, but it's a remarkable thing to get to do that. So, anyway.
I have to say, learning the violin is not like learning to ride a bike. I went, about a week ago, I went to a friend's house and the daughter learns the violin, and I said, give me the violin, I'll show you something. And I took it and I couldn't play a note. So, that's it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a gift to be part of something where you come away with a potential ability if you keep it up. But it was more as well the physicality of the instrument as well as the actual kind of ability to play the music. That was a whole other ball game. But it was great. It was good fun. Thanks for coming, in the words of Chris Walken.
Well, I didn't play the violin, but I can dance. Thank you for coming.
I didn't play violin either. And I guess to further go along with that question in terms of not only like learning how to play, but learning how to play well in terms of each other. This is such an important, unique cast, especially for the quartet itself. What was the experience like when you first met, to the entire dynamic as it changed throughout?
As far as the director goes, it was quite scary because every day they became more and more of a quartet, and I was like more and more pushed into the position that quartet has no director. So it was becoming that, and at the very end, they became a team. So it was really, really incredible to see that happening. They're all close friends, so yeah.
Definitely.
I'm going to go over here.
Regarding some of the music, Yaron had given me a call and invited me to compose the score music. And I said, that's marvelous, so let me take a look at the DVD. He sent over a DVD. I looked at this thing top to bottom, and it was just a gem. Just perfectly acted by this incredible cast. And and then I said to Yaron, let's talk about some music. I like the film very much. What do you have in mind? And he said 3 words. The 3 magical words were pain, pain, and what's that word? He got that right. 3 pains. I said, wow, that's right on target for me. And how about if I add some very quiet kind of beauty to that pain underneath it all? He said, absolutely. I said, well, that's it. We'll do this. We're off to the races and on to Carnegie Hall.
It's amazing. Thank you.
Who do you want to ask?
Repeat the question!
So, the question related to what was necessarily the most challenging aspect of creating your character, your characters.
Okay. Everything was wonderful, but learning to play the cello was really hard. I did my best, but my teacher was always reporting back that I refused to practice. And it worked out fine.
I suppose, yeah, the actual playing of the instruments and the learning was the most challenging part of the character arcs. But again, we had a bit of time beforehand and during the actual filming. The more you do it, consecutive days of this, and it was a really rewarding process in that way, because you sort of can really see yourself going from level to level in terms of ability and stuff. And then you forget it all, which is really sad. But yeah, no, I guess the actual playing of the instruments was a little bit tricky.
I guess for me, violent, but more of that, I think it was the English. Because Yaron just, when he called me about this part, he just, at the end of the conversation, he kind of happily added that we're going to be improvising a lot. And as English is not my first or second language, and these guys actually can speak English and act pretty good, that was a bit of a challenge for me.
Mr. Walken, what a pleasure to see you play this role. What drew you to the script? What was the real attraction to the script?
Well, I'd been meeting with Yaron, and then these actors started to accumulate, and I really wish Phil Hoffman was here. He's great. And then we rehearsed and talked about things, for me, you're right, it's a different thing. I don't think I've played a part like this. And I'm very glad I did.
There's not a lot of preparing you can do for that. Just try and, keep your mouth shut for a little bit. And that's all. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I guess that's the best I can do. If I can do that, I'm okay.
I don't know.
When the whole idea of writing a story about a string quartet came about, I wanted Opus 131, this particular string quartet, to be the centerpiece, both musically, but also as sort of a inspiration in terms of the way the script is structured and designed, which means each movement has its own mood, tone, length, rhythm, and I tried to write the story in this way, so that we'll start as the first movement starts, which is a slow fugue, meditative, which is when Peter Mitchell is diagnosed with Parkinson's, and then, for example, the second movement, which becomes more of an airy sonata, we have the coffee scene when Robert pours the coffee, and it's like like that stuff, and so it's an opera, and then the transition goes into from the park, when you see Winter in New York, into the announcement when Peter Mitchell announces the Parkinson's. We have the transition, which is the third movement of Opus 131, which is the shortest movement ever written. And so it's all designed around the music to, in a way, to tell the story of the music through drama. So that's what I tried. I don't know how much I failed, but that's what it is. So.
Developing this extraordinary film, would you decide to include documentary elements in the screenplay?
I think very early on, my previous film, which was my first, was a documentary called Watermarks. And being a documentary, I wanted to bring that into the next movie. Not only that element, but this one in particular, is documentary style. Also, I felt that the script, in a way, it's about musicians playing together, becoming one, but it's also about actors and their craft. And I thought that to show their life, and we have real images of Catherine as a youngster, and Chris as well, and Mark, and everybody is like, they're real pictures. I thought it would add that kind of dimension to the movie.
Thank you.
Together, more or less, line by line. You were the mother, I was the daughter. Sorry, you were the daughter, I was the mother. It's hard to decipher at this point.
Did it ring true to you?
Absolutely, yes, it did.
The writing process was really interesting because Yaron came to me with this very fleshed out idea of a family of string quartet players, and I'm not steeped in the world of classical music, so he was, he's sort of unrelentingly dedicated to the craft, and he said, read this, listen to this, learn this. And when it came to writing the script, we really hashed it out together. So for that conflict scene, we sat on the couch in his apartment with Tamar, and we went back and forth, and we went, most of the script line by line. What's going to work here? What's going to sort of illuminate the nature of the characters, what's going to play well. you know, we were writing not only for story and themes, but also for moments of emotion. And it's what an honor to have, you know, Imogen and these actors and Catherine play that scene. It's unbelievable.
So I just want to, was the last question. I just want to say one particular thank you. There are so many people I want to thank that again made this movie, but I have to thank my wife, who is also the lead producer of the movie. Come on, Sarah. Come on. So she produced the movie, she produces my life, and she basically produces everything. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we do have to wrap up, but like wonderful casting crew led by Yaron, Zilberman, congratulations.